whenever we can put together cute and practical, that's a good thing.
I think so too. And even better is when we have a tool, so we can make it a reusable thing.
That's right.
And this week we've got yummy cupcakes, cute and calorie-free.
Well, let's look at the finished result first.
Okay, look at this cute cupcake. So I'm showing it from the side here.
Okay.
And then here's up at the top with a cute little flower and a brad. You'll notice that we've got two different pattern papers. So we've got this cool mosaic down here and then this kind of faux texture pattern paper.
And then a little topper.
Yeah. So show me the template.
Okay, so here's what the template looks like. Now we've got to get back because this is a 12 by 12 template.
Yeah, super big template. What I love about the templates, Paulette, is that it's a tool. So it's reusable. I can use this as many times as I want. I can make as many cupcakes as I want.
You can, and you can make two types of cupcakes. There's a yummy cupcake and then there's a delicious. So in looking at this, do you want to bring the cupcake back in and just show the pieces? There are 3 pieces that makes this. So there's a bottom,
which I'm showing right
which
here.
Is separate, and then there's the cupcake itself, and then as you showed, there's a topper.
Right, so the cupcake just sits inside the bottom part, the little wrapper, and then you just attach this on the top with a Zot or a glue dot or something.
Right. So as with all the templates, you're going to put the template on the back of your pattern paper, trace around the area, remove the template and cut it out. But just again, as we said, this brown area on the template is the holder.
Right.
And then the larger area, which is kind of hard to see on your monitor, is the cupcake itself, and then the toppers are down toward the bottom.
Right.
So.
And you can mix and match those toppers too, so that you can have all kinds of different looks.
So I'm going to slide in here. We have cut out, this is the cupcake itself from the one that you just showed. Looks like this. One of the things I just want to point out is that in manufacturing the template, they can't give the cut lines all the way because otherwise the template will fall apart.
Okay.
So there's
all the way to the center, you
right.
mean?
So you just want to make sure, and if we can get in close here, maybe I can illustrate that you want to make sure that when you cut, that the slits go all the way to the fold lines.
Right,
okay?
and that'll make it easier to get around this area here too.
Right.
Just for me and my scissor.
Well, and
friends for looking out for things like that.
So you can see that we've marked the fold lines, and there are 3 on each section of the cupcake itself. So we just spent a moment and folded each of those in, and did that all the way around. And then the template goes, or the cupcake goes together pretty simply. We're just going to put glue on those little areas that are going to get folded on top.
So this is one of the few templates that we have that requires adhesive, because most of the other ones just kind of fold and tuck together. So you'll want just a regular stick glue. That's probably the best way to go rather than a tape tab or something.
So I've put glue on the inside of the tab, and then I'm going to bring it up on the fold, and I'm going to overlap the curved area onto the straight. And I'm going to do it again. So I want to see if you can see that. Okay, there's the little tab. It's going to go on top, and because I've put glue on it, it's just going to get glued all the way around.
So could you put those flaps on the inside if you wanted them?
Absolutely.
So it can go either way.
And we've got some other cupcakes here, so we'll be able to demonstrate those. So as this goes around, so let me do that. Now all of the tabs are glued in place, and I hope you can see these. They're glued on top. It is a bit easier if you let those dry, and that will hold it. Then we move on to the next step, which is the top part. Now this is the delicious cupcake, and it has these curves which are going to remain puffy when it's done. So I'm going to take 3 of them, and I'm going to work counterclockwise, and I'm going to hold them together at the top tab. So 1, 2, 3, so I'm just holding them. I'm going to take the next one and let that little tab tuck under, get this so you can see it, tuck under the first one so that it is now holding them like so, okay? And then I'm going to take the third one, again keeping the curved spot on top, and tuck that under. And then I'm going to take the last one, which I want to make sure on the side here that it does go under that curve. And then I'm going to take that tab and also tuck it in. And that will, sometimes that one is a little difficult, but there we are. So we have the puffiness, as you can see, and in this one, as I said, the tabs were on the outside, but I noticed on our completed one that the tabs were actually on the inside, so you can do it either way. This is the Yummy Cupcake, and I want to make sure that you see how to fold it. So we'll go into the cupcake part itself. We've glued the area around, and it's set for a minute, so it's ready. Now the folding is pretty simple. You're going to take 2 of these swirls and interlock them. Just let them interlock like so. Okay, so when that happens, then you can keep interlocking others. So they're just placed right in that little indentation. So I'm just walking them around and sliding them under, and as with all of Susan Niner Jane's templates, when you get to these last 1 or 2, you've got to lift up the first one and tuck in the last, and there you go, a fun little pinwheel at the top.
Okay, Paulette, so this is the bottom of the cupcake.
The holder.
The holder. And this is how it is on the pattern paper. I'm going to show you the flip side of this so you can see the various areas where we've got these cut and pre-folded.
So same thing, you've got the fold lines that are marked, and the same thing also as on the cupcake is you've cut all the way to the fold line.
Right,
okay.
So that you've got this shape inside here.
Okay.
And all you're going to do is, I've pre-folded these, you know, just to make it a little bit easier. As I'm going around, I'm just going to fold and then glue this flap either onto the outside or, again, onto the inside.
So exactly the same way.
Exactly the same way.
Did.
And then you're just going to go around until you have this little holder. Now, one thing I want to point out is that we've actually sanded around the outside edges of the little cupcake holder before putting it together. So when you've got it flat, cut it out, then just go along the edges maybe with a an emery board or a piece of sandpaper. And
so with that thought, because you sanded, you could also ink.
Oh, absolutely. You could ink, you could chalk, you could do all kinds of different things. Gotcha. So it's very, very simple.
Okay, let's see the finished. Oh, there's also one more piece. Oh, the third piece is the topper. And again, there are 2 versions, so exactly the same way. This one was also sanded. You can kind of see the white edges. And turning it over, you can see where we've marked the fold lines. And then we've first folded in and then unfolded each one. Same process. And then these just fold on top of each other, going around. And as with almost all of Susan's templates, you're going to get to a point like this, and then you're going to need to lift the first one and bring the bottom.
Right, and you kind of lift and twist it a little bit so that it sits right inside there. And as you're going along, ta-da, you've got it done. Okay. And then you can just add a brad in the center like we've got here. And the brad actually just goes through that little flower, and then this flower portion has been zodded in place so that you can just pop that either kind of toward the side or right in the center. You'll want to keep in mind before you put that flower topper on there, though, if you want somebody to get inside the cupcake,
what do you do, Sarah?
The contents, you'll need to make sure that you don't have it like super glued on there, or you have it off to the side so they can still get into whatever little treat you've got in there.
You know, one of the fun things about this template is mixing and matching the patterns.
Oh, sure.
And you're going to find some fun. We have a bundle offer, but you're going to find some fun playing with that. So here is a pink dot, and then this is a plaid.
Yeah, and if we can get in a little bit more closely here, you can see, just as you mentioned earlier, Paulette, this has been inked with brown, and it really helps it to stand out. I think anytime you mix and match pattern papers, you want to have a little bit of a mat or a border, you know, something to separate the 2 patterns. Inking is a great way to do that.
It is, and that works great for the side. Now on the top they didn't do that, but you know, there's so much dimension going on that works. Now right here, this is the swirl top.
It's a cherry.
It is a cherry, and it's made out of red glimmer paper.
Right.
So that's just a nice way to go. You have one?
I've got another one, and this is so cute because it also includes this little cupcake tag shape, and that is also on the template.
Exactly, and just like you said, this has been chalk, so this one has been done in 2 pieces.
Right.
Just to give a little more dimension.
Yeah, you could do it in 2 or in 1. And on here, we've added a silk flower with the brad on top of this little folded piece. So again, we've mixed and matched.